we are building the number hunt project. Now this project is right now at a very interesting point, because now we have selected a number. Let's say the number selected is say 35, and we want our computer to guess this, which means that we must now guide our computer with an algorithm that is able to reach this number that we have chosen. Now this may look very trivial when we are doing it. It's amazing that even a small kid will be able to do this in their mind, but to tell a computer requires a completely different and a more careful thinking. Let's just run this game just to understand where we are. Now remember, I'm skipping the first loop here because I've set this done equals to true for now in line number 8. Of course, we'll remove this later on, which means that I come to a point where my computer is going to, the computer expecting me to select a number. So it gives me a chance to select by halting the execution here. The moment I click enter, now so I come here and click enter, and now my second loop goes on where my computer starts to guess. Now over here I'm starting with guess of 1, but let's think of an algorithm that will make sure that this computer is able to actually figure out the number that I have chosen. Before I go on, let's think about what an algorithm really is. Well, it's basically like a step-by-step process of doing something. Ideally, our steps should be both efficient and correct. But I want you to make a very clear distinction that correct may not be efficient. It's absolutely important that we get the algorithm correct. Efficiency is, of course, something that we desire, but it can't come at a price at the cost of correctness. One simple but correct algorithm here would be an extremely conservative approach, which is what we are going to build in the beginning. And I say, okay, all right, now your number is between say 1 and 100. Let me start at 1, which is why I had set the guess to 1 earlier. I'm going to keep increasing my guess by 1 until the chosen number is reached. Now, obviously, this is going to be very slow, because if I choose 35 as my number, then computer is going to take 35 attempts to get there. If I choose 95 as my number, then computer is going to make 95 attempts as my number. So it's very slow, but it is definitely correct. We can think of some variations. For example, instead of starting at 1, we can start at 100, or we can start at a midpoint, or set a random point. But the important bit is that we are going to move in steps of 1. Let's just first code this first, because this gives us a basis for moving further and creates more intuition. So I'll go back to my code here. Remember, my computer is asking me to tell whether the number that the computer is guessing is smaller, larger, or equal to the number that I've chosen. So I just do something similar to what I'd done earlier, just that this time round my response is essentially my response is a string called answer. So I just say, okay, if my answer is, let's say, equal to say y. Now notice here I'm using two equal tos, because again checking for equality, and I must make sure that I use a small y, because that's what I'm expecting my user to do. Of course, later on we learn how we can handle both small and big Y, but right now I'm assuming that the user is going to give me a small y or small s, and so on and so forth. So let's just start with s, for example. So if I say if answer is equal to s, again I have to indent this part of the code. So I just say guess is equal to guess minus 1. Now why do I do this? Because remember, if I'm saying my answer is s, it means that the user's guess is so the number that I've chosen is smaller than the user's guess, which means that I must go towards the chosen number, and I must reduce the guess by 1. On the other hand, if let's say my answer is say L, it means that the number that I've chosen is larger than the number that the computer has guessed. So I say, okay, the number is larger than that, and I want you to go further to say increase the guess to say guess plus 1. And finally, if I, again, remember the indentation on these things is very important. So if I go and say, if, for example, answer is equal to say y, now this is the time when computer has guessed the number that I want. And of course, I have to be honest and play it in the right spirit. So I say print, for example, bingo, say I got it, and just for reference and further, let's say processing. We can say print, for example, say I took, let's say, comma attempts to guess this. it's almost same as what we had done earlier, but most importantly, we must set this done to true. Now, previously I've discussed about some kind of errors that can cause this to go into an infinite loop. Make sure you avoid those, and these include one, setting this variable done to true, also the indentation on these if statements. Notice that all of this here from line 40 to line 52 has to be a part of while loop, which means all of this has to be indented down one level down from the 39. Furthermore, we must make sure all the three ifs are aligned at the same indent, and each of these if statements is further indented carefully. Now, be careful on this because these small errors can cause the logic to go completely haywire. But with this done, let's see our code working. I'm going to stop this. So again, the first loop is skipped. Computer has asked me to select a number. Let's say I select 35. Now, I say, okay, all right, I'm ready. It asks me, is it 1? Well, certainly my number is larger than that. So I say L, a small l, and computer tries to say, okay, all right, is it 2? I say L. Is it 3? Say L. Is it 4? Now, clearly this algorithm is very, very slow. It's going to take me a lot of time before I get to 35. But I will get to 35. In fact, I'll get to any number that I would, have chosen, because this is kind of like exhaustive. It's just searching every number from starting from say 1, right? So I will eventually get there, but this is very, very slow. What I'm trying to get at is that this algorithm is actually correct, though it is not efficient. Let's try a few variations of this. Let's say I say, okay, instead of starting at, 0, starting at 1, why don't I start at 100? Now, obviously, any number now will be smaller than this. So I say, okay, so let's say, click enter. Let's say again, I choose 35. Now, this time now it's going to be even worse, because if I say, well, it's smaller than 100, is it 99? Is it smaller than 99? Is it 98? Smaller than that, and so on and so forth. In fact, it's going to take me say 65 turns to get to 35, but I will get there. So the point is that this algorithm is indeed, correct, though it may not be, let's say, the most efficient. Now I can try some other variations of this. I can say, let me start at the midpoint, and it's a very interesting exercise for you to think about what is the best thing to do, or is it any different to start from the midpoint? How is it different from, let's say, starting at extremes versus starting at midpoint, or let's say starting even with a random number? So let's say I say, okay, now your chance to select a number, so I say click enter when ready. Now this time it asks me, is it 50? Because that's where I started. 35 is smaller than 50. In fact, I'll do quite well being 35, because in 15 guesses, I would have reached, say, 35, right? So if I come down, I'm almost there. 37, 36, 35, I say yes. And now it says I got it. It took me 16 attempts to get here. So because we know that this algorithm has to work no matter where we start. If you can think about this, you can even start from a random place. Let's say, so I just go and say, okay, look, let me get a random guess to start with. So I say random dot rand int. Let's say 1 and 100. And again, now it's a complete matter of luck, but something to think about. Which is better? Is it better to go random, or is it better to go to midpoint, or something to go to extremes? In terms of, let's say, the average number of attempts, to get to a certain number. So I say, let's say, well, click enter when ready. I click, and oh, sorry. So I think I clicked enter wrongly. So click enter when ready. I click enter. It's asked for 78. I say, well, my number is smaller than that. So it's like 77, 76. Eventually, it will get to 35. Very slow, but definitely correct. Now, we are going to see how we can speed this up, because that's a nice journey, nice thought process that goes on in this, eventually leading us to what is called a binary search. Take care. I hope this was useful. Again, if making projects like this, doing activities like this makes learning fun for you, do look at our website, because that's how we learn Python, through such fun activities. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.